Senator Bernie Sanders understands that in American politics, you have to strike while the iron is hot. And that is exactly what he is doing. Since Friday, since the failure of Trump Care or Ryan Care or whatever you want to call it, Bernie Sanders has renewed his push for a Medicare for all style of health care in the United States. A move that is actually supported by many most progressive organizations, the PCCC, Medicare for All, Social Security Works, Credo Mobile, organizations that have staunchly defended progressive values for years. They've come out in support of this. Representative Keith Ellison is on board. But here's the thing about this push. Right now, the American public has been primed for something different than the Affordable Care Act. But they want something better. They made that clear when they showed up at the town hall meetings. They made it clear when they protested against the Republican plan. And so they want something better. And that's what this Medicare for All plan is about. It's about giving people an alternative to corporate health insurance, a government-sponsored program that already gets more than a 60% approval rating from those in it. That's what Medicare is currently polling at amongst people who are enrolled in the program. And it would provide people with an alternative. They could buy in to the government system if they wanted to. If they wanted to go with private health insurance companies, they could do that too. But there would be a cheaper, affordable alternative for people who cannot currently afford regular health insurance, because we know that Republicans in the House of Representatives and in the Senate, they're still going to repeal those Obamacare tax breaks. They're going to make it impossible for people to get those subsidies to buy these corporate insurance policies. So a Medicare for All plan would allow them to still purchase health insurance at a reduced rate. Perhaps the coverage isn't going to be as great as you're going to get with a Cigna plan or a Blue Cross plan, but it's going to let people go to the doctor and afford their medications, because Bernie Sanders wants to include an amendment into this that would allow negotiation between the federal government and the drug companies to provide lower cost prescription drugs for United States citizens. Now, this plan, unfortunately, will not likely see the light of day. The majority of Democrats in Washington, D.C. oppose it. Majority of Republicans obviously oppose it. In fact, the only people who support it, the only people who want it, are progressives and the majority of people in the United States. That's right, polling shows that the majority of people living in this country want some kind of Medicare for all, single-payer option for health insurance. But those idiots, both the Democrats and the Republicans in Washington, D.C., don't want to let us have that. And there is no reason why. There's no logic to denying it. It's just the way they are. They don't want anything to cut into the profits of the health insurance companies that are giving money hand over fist to both Democrats and Republicans. So they're going to fight it. Because the more people that buy into a Medicare for All program through the federal government means less people paying premiums to these greedy insurance companies that have been screwing us over for decades. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. If you've done all those things, please check out all the videos below. Stay up to date with everything we do here at Ring of Fire.